we can't have sin favoritism in the church.
Yeah. So play the last one. Is that there's one more, right?
There's one more, yeah.
And then we'll, yeah.
And finally, there was also an attack on churches that welcomed the trans community that day. To Sunny's point, there's nothing less in touch with the gospel than wanting to bring in as many people to hear the good news.
Well,
of Christ.
because they forget. See, this, if you don't get it, you know, and I know people give us a lot of stuff because they think that we also have no idea. I know there's a legal note. I'm going to get to it. But, you know, we have our beliefs in God. We know the difference between what it says and what it doesn't. And regardless of what you think of us, at least you know we read our Bibles. So you got to leave it.
We read it every day.
I don't do that.
Let me calm down.
All right. Yeah. So the she brought up something about accepting churches going the extra mile to accept trans and that community. And you know there's some signs like we have trans, LGBT, we support Black Lives Matter, we support this at certain churches. So what do you think about that? And if you want to comment on the video too, but yeah, what do you think about? Because that's kind of what she was referring
Is she saying
to.
they support it, or are they saying they welcome it?
Like they're like, I'll say, really, I feel like my perception is based on like me getting the perspective of people on The View a lot more. So I kind of know like when they say certain things, it's certain buzzwords, certain keywords. It's like, all right, you talking about this. So let's just say that, you know, they're not talking about that, but they did bring up a good point. So we'll say, where's the balance? Like, how much should you, because they got churches that'll play secular music in the fellowship hall because they want to pull in those people. You see what I'm saying? So where should we draw the line? Like, should we have signs that say, you know, we support LGBT, we support BLM, we support all these other things?
No,
Ooh.
I don't know. I don't get the points of the signs.
The support is what's getting me.
Yeah.
If that's why I think I'm like,
the sign, like
yeah.
a sign saying we support.
Because I seen some churches, boy, they listing all. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
yeah.
Because when I think of
I think
support,
I've
that
seen
means you
that
want to
before.
grow it. Like you're trying to grow it.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm thinking of it. And I think from a Christian perspective, that wouldn't make sense if your goals are to draw people to the faith.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that's not ideal to have a sign that says we support anything. That's almost like we support adult, like we welcome
Adultery.
Or
adultery.
Satanists.
We welcome
Satanists at our church.
You know, just from a
We
biblical
welcome-
perspective, that doesn't make sense because you're trying to get people to God. So, like, if you're saying it from a perspective of we welcome you here, this is where you
Yeah,
can
you're
come.
welcome. Yeah.
This is a community. You know, we walk with you. You know, there's a song. It's like, keep on walking with my lamp. You know, that type of stuff. Like, if you gonna come in that way, that makes sense.
Sing it now. Let's have church. Not that way.
I was about to say, no.
Sing it right now.
But
Instant in season. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
my thought on it.
Agree. That's what once he put it all together. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I do feel like people going that extra mile to. It's like, bro. It's scary how far people will go. It's like, yes, we gotta pull people in. But it's like, now if I'm pulling a bunch of LGBT people to my church with the way that I promote, it's like I need my resume to match who I am. I need my sign to match. I'm not about to have, like, when they put LGBT in rainbow letters, it's like, bruh, I need my sign to match what's on the inside of church. So if I'm over here, I'm going to tell you the truth that homosexuality is a sin. You're going to be confused once you see that sign. You're going to be like, what? So it's like, unless I'm using some tactics to try to pull you in, maybe, I don't know.
Because it seems like the way you would approach that is like we support people that have like same sex attraction, because that's a different thing. Like if you attracted to your gender, your sex, like if you're attracted to it, but you want to like draw closer to God and in turn learn like how to crucify those desires, that would be a way that makes sense for you to promote it at your church. Like that's how I would promote it if I had a church.
Because I say
I will go to your church.
we wouldn't support we wouldn't support the LGBT ideology, but we support the people.
The people,
You
right?
see what I'm
We
saying?
love the people.
And that's why I
You know?
like to differentiate. I wanted to show this Kaitlyn Jenner, if y'all know Kaitlyn Jenner. which
Yeah,
is
we know.
Oh no, it's just ain't no more videos.
Oh,
Kaitlyn Jenner, which is
Bruce Jenner.
Bruce Jenner. Brucey. I was thinking about Nemo. Said the only thing to proclaim on Easter is 3 words: He has risen. I was like, yo, you are something else. I just can't understand.
what was he trying? What do you think he was trying to say?
He's talking about God for sure. He's talking about Jesus
I
rose.
think Kaitlyn is trying to go back to Bruce stuff, though.
Maybe because of the way.
What made you think that?
I
I'm
think
behind.
I think I read that. He said I'm behind.
I am. I'm sorry.
I'm behind too. I just know that he did.
I think I read it somewhere.
Her,
It could've been
she,
a
her.
fib, though.
I might have
You might have read it too?
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, instead of like, if he were to say something like that, we should be like, well, let's pray that he's being genuine.
Because he's
And
not
if
wrong.
he's not, the Lord, the word says God is not mocked. So let the Lord handle that. Like we seem to forget that God always said to the Israelites that the revenge is his. So whatever happens to us, whatever attack they want to do, whether they put it on the same day as the resurrection day or like any other Christian
Next
holiday.
year it falls on 420. I mean, well,
now I want to see
Easter.
everybody mad about 420 next
Easter
year, too.
falls. Resurrection Sunday fall on 420 next
Dang.
year.
And guess what? Ain't nobody gonna say nothing. Them folks still gonna go outside.
Unless
they gonna
President
roll up,
Biden's like,
and they gonna.
we want to
well, if he's still
recognize
president.
420.
Yes, if he's still president.
Cause I don't think Trump going. We want to recognize 420. It's a big deal. I was like, very big deal.
Yeah.
Let's get high in the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Nah, he ain't gonna say that.
Nah, he ain't gonna say
Dang,
anybody,
man.
boy.
You said something that I wanted to.
Oh,
Are
what,
you over here
Johnny?
trying to-
Yeah. Dang, what did you say? I wanted to ask you a question.
Well, I was
Whatever day
I
it
was
falls
mentioning
on,
like
something
we
like that.
should
Genuine.
So it was the comment regarding Bruce, or I'm sorry, Kaitlyn,
He ain't
saying-
offending me. You know?
saying
His
he
name
is
was
he is risen.
Yeah.
And so my thing is like, as a church, what would be our, like, how would we help somebody that had already
You
went
mean
to
make
the-
this surgery and
yeah,
everything?
or even scenarios where like they married already?
He ain't married.
No,
Well,
I'm saying like in a situation where like they were in the community and they got married, fully married as 2 men.
well,
Like, how do you?
I don't think that's a legit marriage if it's not.
But they come. But legally it is.
legally
Oh,
it is.
legally.
Under the law, yeah.
Oh,
They,
Of the
they
land.
are by law.
dang! I could.
And again, I'm not gonna blame Obama. I'm blaming the culture because, like, bro, you just a pawn.
Right? Yeah,
Like, who
that's,
you
that's
just
true.
you just a pawn, bro. I'm not gonna blame you.
Yeah.
What you the Antichrist? Well, some people did think he was the Antichrist.
Well, I think of it this way.
True.
In the book of Acts, all the believers came and dropped all their resources to help one another. And I
you
personally
gotta drop
like,
everything. Get divorced. I'm just like,
No, because we wouldn't. They
I'm
would
just
have to like be like we.
Yeah.
Because when you come to church, you have your altar call. They say we want to be,
yeah.
you know, followers of Christ now, disciples, and now
that's tough.
they're like, you know, what's the
Even-
journey? What's the
Yeah.
journey?
Even
That
having
would be-
the
that's their
transgender
question
in the
for us.
church.
I
Huh?
guess it would
Even
start with
having
divorce.
even having the transgender in the church by themselves, like you going to the restroom, like we gotta make sure you going by yourself because other people gonna feel they're gonna be like, you know it's gonna be some people in there gonna be like, I can't wait till they leave. You just know. That's what some people gonna be thinking. And it's gonna be tough because like what restroom do y'all go in? Like it's oh man, that's a tough thing to but you know, it's like I definitely want to have at least the right spirit. Like I would never go to them and be like, yo, you can't come here dressed like that. That
Well,
would be crazy.
from the video, I've seen people who became trans, like they actually transitioned and then they came to Christ and they just dropped whatever they had. So like, I don't know, it was this girl trying to become a guy. Her voice sounds like a man's voice, but like she stopped dressing like a woman. I'm sorry, no, she stopped dressing like a man, started, dressing like what she's comfortable in. Not necessarily like dress like a woman, but she's stopped being very masculine. Let her hair grow out. She got a hard jawline, but like is accepting that she was made as a woman, and she is trying to get back to it as best as she can. And if someone is like doing that, and or in the situation that they're married, I think we should just always try to support them the best they can. Like, hey, look, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong. Like, I don't think there's a way to like, just because you transition to one sex, you have to now dress like the other. Like, no, just dress comfortably. Like, if you want to dress in sweatpants and a t-shirt, like,
Yeah, because
but
isn't it Jackie Hill
Hill
Perry
Perry,
that
yeah.
still sort of kind of dresses
yeah,
comfortably?
Yeah.
right,
Because she used to be gay as well, right?
correct. So
yeah.
to your point, like, how would they transition? It's just they would just be themselves as how God made them, to where they're gonna start identifying as the gender that God made them, and they will start, I guess, in a way, allowing things to happen and based on their biology. So like a woman will allow their hair to grow, uh, a man would allow facial hair to grow. I don't know, like what like it's just it's not like, oh man, you have to like do the 180. You just stop and let God do his thing. And we can, as a community, we should be praying for healing, restoration. Look,
It's a detransition community.
yeah,
It's a
look,
whole community of
right. So I feel like if God were to choose, he can restore anything. The vocals, like even the genitals, like why can't God do any of that? Not to say that he always will, but I just think the transition shouldn't be as hard, in terms of like their appearance. Like they just do
I
what they
know
do.
it cannot be an easy thing
Oh, it's not.
once you walk that far away from God, and the possibility to where you may not be made whole until he gives you a new glorified body. You got to kind of think like, well, I got to be ready to find happiness maybe once I leave the earth. You know what I'm saying? Not self-deletion, not unaliving
Yeah.
yourself. Is not what I'm talking about. That's so just make that clear. I'm not promoting that. But once God comes back, maybe, it's just that's tough because God himself said if you don't want the truth, he'll send you, if you don't have a love for the truth, he'll send you a strong delusion. So that's a scary rope to walk right there, boy. But it's a group of people it's a community of detransition people. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's making it. So, it's
And
scary.
yeah, they usually tend to look back to like what their original
Yeah.
gender is. So
Yeah.
going back to your question about like the whole divorce thing, like the whole legal side of things, I think they should just go ahead and go through a divorce,
Oh,
and then the church should stand behind to assist any financial burdens, because we're supposed to carry each other's burden. So that's like my view on that. Like if they need to do a legal thing, we should be behind them, giving them lawyers, giving them this and that, whatever resources they need to, help them, because that's what we're called to do. So
give on them, Lord. Okay.
So there are